This is my audience. Thank you, audience, for being here this evening. Good evening, and thank you for taking the time, for the second time, to listen to this important speech on the benefits of the EPA's Pay-As-You-Throw refuse program. Before we begin, I'd like you to take a moment and imagine this scene. On your street, you have two neighbors. Your first neighbor is Mrs. Jones. This is her. She produces very little trash, maybe just a bag or two each week. She recycles, composts, and intentionally purchases products with less packaging. And the other home is Mrs. Smith. This is her. She is not worried at all about how much she buys. She's thought about recycling and composting, but doesn't really see the need to it. She typically throws away 2 big garbage cans each week. Now picture their trash bills. Who do you think pays more to throw away all this garbage? If you live in the city of Waukesha, neither. They pay exactly the same amount. And in cities across the U.S., this scenario is played out over and over again each week. Let me contrast that with one from Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Fitchburg is a small community located outside of Madison, Wisconsin, and is currently one of the EPA's success stories. According to the EPA, in 1996, Fitchburg, Wisconsin reduced its waste output by 50%. Imagine that 50% of an entire city's waste was diverted from landfills. That is incredible. So what does the EPA credit with such an amazing success rate? The Pay-As-You-Throw refuse program. This program, the Pay-As-You-Throw refuse program, also known as PATE, is a system that communities can use that has remarkable success in reducing garbage output and increasing recycling input. This is done by creating financial incentives for residents to reduce their garbage. Instead of your garbage bill being buried somewhere in your tax bill, residents are charged annually for the amount of garbage that they actually throw away. The more trash you throw, the more you have to pay. It's that simple. This encourages residents to produce less garbage by recycling, composting, and purchasing less packaging. This system is now at work in over 7,000 communities across the U.S., and one of the beauties of this program is that it can be tailored to any community. For example, some communities charge by the can, others by the pound, and still others by the bag. Some communities only pick up garbage and recycling, while others, like Fitchburg, collect yard waste as well and separate food waste. According to the Wisconsin DNR, there are several reasons for communities to participate in such a program. The first is environmental sustainability. Let's face it, garbage can be toxic. The PATE program encourages residents to recycle, so they consume less natural resources, fewer greenhouse gases are produced, and imagine all the harvesting, manufacturing, distribution, use, and disposal of brand new products is avoided. Additionally, landfills often leak and pollute the groundwater. The second reason communities should use the Pay-As-You-Throw refuse program is economic sustainability. PATE is an effective tool for communities struggling with out-of-control waste disposal costs. Good programs reduce municipal truck fleets, generate fewer tipping fees, fewer transfer fees, reduce fuel costs, and reduce employee costs. They generate revenue for the government through their fees and can be 100% sustainable. Additionally, increased recycling means increased revenues for the county through the sale of the recyclables. Depending on the homeowner, residents themselves can see significant personal savings by reducing their waste. The third and most important reason for a lot of people is equity. One of the most desirable features of this program is that it's fair. No one is unfairly having to subsidize their wasteful neighbors. Everyone has the same ability to lower their bills. So if it is that beneficial to residents, why isn't everyone participating? It appears that public perception is to blame. For many of us, we never see our garbage bill, Instead, it's buried in our property tax bill, and as a result, we see disposal costs as a free service our communities provide. However, we know it's really not free, but none of us ever really think about our disposal costs. In the city of Waukesha, moving to a PATE system has hit upon every roadblock imaginable and is unpopular among residents who see it as a bill being added to their property tax. So what can we do? Two things. It is extremely important that communities look at making the transition, starting with an educational campaign. Residents must be on board and excited about saving money. The City of Fitchburg has done an amazing job. If you visit their website, you can see educational information on disposing every single item imaginable. Secondly, when communities are considering this change, we, the residents, must send a note, email, or call and show our support. Far too often, the naysayers are the loudest in a crowd. We must make our voices be heard that we welcome and embrace this change. The City of Waukesha is looking at implementing this program over the next few years, but it can only be successful if we, the residents, make our voices heard and show our support. In conclusion, the Pay-As-You-Throw refuse program has the potential to make the largest environmental impact of its kind by simply changing how residents pay for their disposal costs. They already receive this service. It is our job to embrace that change and know that pay as you throw is the only way to go. Thank you.